Hello students, I welcome you once again to English Studies online class. My name is Mr. Oladejo Ibukun. Before we proceed with this class today, I want you to do away with all forms of distractions around you. Get your writing materials and get set for learning. Today we'll be dealing with stress. And we'll be looking at stress in compound sentences. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to define stress and compound words. You should be able to stress the stressed syllables in given compound words correctly. You should be able to list compound words in given passage. Alright, let's move on now. What is stress? Stress is the deep breath effort exerted in the pronunciation of a syllable. Pronunciation of a syllable. Very, very important. Within a word within a sentence, or a sentence within a discourse. Now, if you look at this word called stress, if you are not careful, you might take it for another meaning. At this point, you need to understand what we mean by stress. You are pronouncing a word that has more than one syllable or has one syllable. There is a stress attached to a particular syllable in a word, especially when the syllable is more than one. So stress is the deep breath effort that you exert when you are pronouncing a particular syllable within a word, or a word within a sentence, or a sentence within a discourse. Now let's look at the word stress rules. There are two very simple rules about word stress. Two rules, very simple. Number one word has only one stress. Note that. A word has only one stress. That is to say, a word cannot have two stresses. It's not possible. A word cannot have two stresses. Alright? Now rule number two. We can only stress vowels. We stress vowels, but we don't stress consonants. You can only stress the vowels in each word, in every word you want to stress. Alright? Let's move on. You get more understanding as you go on. Now you need to note some things when you are attaching stress on a particular syllable in a word. We use capital letters to write the stress syllable, or a stroke. Look at the stroke right here. A stroke can be used to do what? To show stress. And when you're using a stroke, you place the stroke up before the stress syllable to show stress. Take for example, look at this word, headmaster. We have our stress right here in the first syllable, head. That's where we have the stress, and so we use capital letter. On the other hand, if you look at it here, headmaster, we use a stroke right here before. Remember, we said before the stressed syllable. We said a stroke can be placed up before the stressed syllable. Now this is our syllable. The syllable that is being stressed is head, under the headmaster, and so we place the stroke right here before the syllable. Alright, look at another example. We have wheelbarrow. Our stress is right here on wheel, and the same thing applies here. We use the stroke here. Okay, let's move forward. Now, stress in compound words. Let's look at stress in compound words. But before we move forward, what do we mean by compound words? A compound word is a combination of two or more words belonging to different part of speech. You know, we can use a verb and a noun, combining them together. That's what we call compound word. And so we say a compound word is the combination of two or more words that form a new word with a new meaning. When you combine a noun and a verb together, it forms a new word and has a new meaning. That's what we call a compound word. Alright? Now, in a compound word, one syllable carries a strong stress. One syllable will definitely carry a strong stress. It is pronounced with greater force and is louder. Yes, in compound words, a particular syllable must carry the stress. Now let's look at it. What stress for compound nouns? Now, the first one will deal with compound nouns. A compound noun is a noun made out of two nouns. Are you getting it now? In order to form one word. So when we join two nouns together and they mean another thing, they are known as what? Compound nouns. Okay? Now, in a compound noun, the first word usually takes on the stress. The first word. Look at it. Example, we have Iceland. Our first word, first syllable, carries what? The stress. That's why it is written in capital letter. Look at another example. Tooth there. We have toothpaste. Tooth is our stressed syllable because it's the first one. Remember we said in compound noun, the first word usually takes on the stress. Okay? Look at another example. C. The stress is on C. You can see it right here. Okay? Now let's move to the next. Let's see other examples on compound nouns. We have sunrise. The word on blue is where we have our stress. This time around we use a stroke before the syllable. Same thing applies here. Heavy-handed. We have our stress on heavy. Typewriter. We have our stress on type, the first syllable. So when you have compound nouns, that is two nouns together, that is out and come, they are noun. We have what? We have our stress on the first syllable, which is out. Alright? Look at this word, cup, board. We have our stress on the first syllable, which is cup. Okay? Now let's deal with compound adjectives. Compound adjectives. A compound adjective is an adjective composed of at least two words. Often, hyphens are used in compound adjectives. And in compound adjectives, the stress is placed within the second word. Within. Take this word, very important. Within. Not on the whole second word. Within the second word. Look at the example. 10 meter. When we say a 10-meter race. Yes, 10 meter. So the 10 meter there is a compound adjective. And we have our stress on ME. And the first syllable under meter. Me. 10 meter. Now remember we said hyphens are often used in compound adjective. That's why you see this hyphen there. You see it here and you see it here. Look at this example again. Rock solid. We have our stress on the saw syllable. 15 minutes. We have our stress on the me syllable. Alright? We can see other examples here. Bad tempered. Bad tempered. So we have our syllable under these. Old fashioned. You see? Free range. See where our syllable appears. Two-seater. 4 foot. Now look at this. The old word carries the syllable because it is a one-syllable word. A one-syllable word. Self-conscious. Self-conscious. So we have our stress on those underlined words because they carry their stress on the second word, within the second word actually, because they are compound adjectives. Now let's look at compound verbs. A compound verb is when a subject has two or more verbs. And in a compound verb, the last word or the last part of the word usually takes on the stress. The last part usually takes on the stress. But in some cases, we have their stress on the first part. So it's very important you watch out for the words. Now let's look at some of the examples we have here. Matilda loves bread but detests butter. Now, Matilda is our subject. Loves is the first verb and then detest is the second verb. Right? Now look at our rules again. We say in compound verb, the last word or last part usually takes on the stress. Now, we have two verbs here. So we have to do with what? The last word. Which is the second verb. Detest. Now, Definitely the last part of the word, since it has two syllables, the last part carries the stress. The last part carries the stress, and that is where we have tests. That's where the stress appears. Alright, look at this example again. Sarah baked cookies and ate them up. This is our first verb, and this is our second verb. This second verb carries the O stress because it's a one syllable word, and so it is written in capital letter and in bold font. Dogs love to eat bones and love drinking water. Dogs is our subject here. To eat is the verb number 1, and drinking is verb number 2. Alright, now we deal with the second one, which has its own stress on the first syllable. On the first syllable. That's why I said we have, in some cases, they have their stress on the first part. You can see it here. Alright. More examples of stress in compound words. We have understand. It carries the stress on the second word. Overflow carries the stress on the second one. This one, I'll sit, carries its own stress on the first syllable. Window shop. Now look at this. It has its stress on the first syllable of the first word. So watch out for all these. And most times, if you get confused, you can check the dictionary to understand where the stress of a particular word is being placed. Noun plus compound nouns. Let's see, this will be the last one. Noun plus compound nouns are two-word compound nouns. Two-word compound noun. And in noun plus compound nouns, the stress is on the first word. Look at the example here. Airplane mechanic. Airplane mechanic. We have a noun plus compound noun. This is a noun, and this is compound noun. Air and plane, compound noun. So we on the first word, the first syllable. That's why we have here. That's where our stress appears. Look at this. Project manager. The compound noun and plus noun. We have our stress on the first syllable. Boardroom member. We have our stress on what? On first word. Alright, that will be the end for today's class. Let's look at assignment. You have learned a lot. You have learned stress, and you have learned compound words. You have learned how to place the stress on it. So you need to brush up with your memory, do this assignment, and with the use of either capital letter or stroke, you identify the stress in each of the following words. Light finger, downgrade, typewriter, outcome, illiterate. So you do the assignment and submit your answers to the following email. Make sure when you are writing out the email, don't do mistake. Check through it and be sure you are correct. Alright, see you next class. Bye bye.